I forgot to add this on the stage. Welcome to Same Cast Different Day Podcast. I am Marshall Rowland.
I'm Tamara.
Oh my god. Why don't it wait till I went live to start acting like a plum fool?
Mm.
Uh so to get things started, first of all, congratulations to Trinity Fatu, known as Naomi in the WWE. She won the Women's World Championship. She is the first African American woman to win the Money in the Bank ladder match after walking out the company a few years ago due to not being treated fairly and very well. And she felt like her career is not going the direction that it needed to be in. So her and performer at the time, Sasha Banks, decided to walk out the company. She left the company to join TNA, where she became the Knockouts Women's World Champion over there. Her and Jade Cargill were the first women to have a match at WrestleMania that wasn't for a title, and they both were black women. So congratulations to Naomi for paving the way for women in the world of sports entertainment.
Yay, congratulations.
I had to turn my volume up. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing the Coldplay videos that's been going around on
Who's
the
that?
internet, but baby,
Their goose is cooked.
somebody getting fired is all I'm gonna say. Well, I should say getting divorced. I'm gonna put it that way because when I saw the video, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then the thing about it is, sports venues are also joining in on the shenanigans.
Yeah, everybody was joining in on the shenanigans.
So I'm going to play the clip that happened at the Coldplay concert first.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Your face says it all. So I'm going to play the next clip of sports venues now. I'm sorry, sports venues doing this. I'm just going to play it. Here we go.
Yeah, that was hilarious, man. I don't know what to say about that other than y'all busted.
The
And the
fact that him
whole
cheating
the
is being made a spectacle around the world, getting
around the world.
is being made a spectacle of. It's just hilarious.
Ooh-wee. That's a
So,
little rough there.
so to get things going, we're gonna talk about a little bit of what do you want to call this? Hot topics, I guess. So CBS canceled late night show with Steve Colbert just 3 days after Colbert called CBS parent company Paramount for where he called them out for the handling over the $16 million Trump bogus suit settlement, and said that it looks. Some people said that it looks like bribery. After paying out the $16 million in a 60-minute lawsuit, Stephen Colbert said, as someone who has always been a proud employee of the network, he said that he is offended and he don't think anything will ever repair the trust that he has in the company. He said the settlement for for the settlement was a nuisance. Was a nuisance loss. Oh wait, I messed up, y'all. I'm somewhere else. Uh, Also, the settlement from the lawsuit from when Trump claimed that in the 60-minute interview that they did with Kamala Harris that it was deceptively edited for in the interview that she did. And then Colbert says Paramount knows that they could have easily fought it, and because of in their own words, the lawsuit was completely without merit. This also comes as Paramount owners are trying to get Trump administration to approve the sale of the network to a new owner, Skydance. And then Colbert has started dancing around. So basically, he got his show canceled for speaking out against Donald Trump in so many words.
So that's how I feel now. I wasn't aware of all the other details. Like it sounded like Paramount got salty
Hmm.
because he said something about them, but originally I felt like Trump probably had something to do with them canceling that show, and I think they canceling another show too, aren't they?
I'm not sure any other shows that they're
I
canceling.
thought I heard or read something about the late night show.
Well, this is the late night with Stephen Colbert. That's what it's called.
Oh,
And
okay.
then they got another one where it's like daily news, where they talk about him a lot. But I don't think they're gonna um, shut that down just because they do actually get good ratings and a lot of people actually watches the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see them actually canceling that show anytime soon.
Mm.
Um, so for those of you who were okay, that is very weird. So those of you who are wondering about okay, I don't know what's going on with that. When Trump was called, he was having swollen ankles and his hand was looking kind of wonky in that picture. It said Donald Trump.
What you got going on?
You know what I'm saying? And
What's happening? He over there struggling, y'all.
I'm really struggling today, and I'm really hot. What was I talking about? Okay, Trump had he has a blood circulation issue that caused mild swelling in his leg and was revealed by Caroline Levitt, his White House press secretary. I missed a whole nother part. Chronic venous insufficiency. I think
Insufficiency.
who?
Chronic venous
Oh,
insufficiency,
insufficiency, right?
also known as peripheral artery disease, aka PAD. And I mean, for a man of his age, it's very, very common. So I'm not even really sure why they released this information.
I think it's because people is making fun of him on the internet. Is why they released the information. That's the only reason why.
We gonna make fun of him anyway. What are
Exactly.
we talking about?
Yeah, I
But
can't even get my words out tonight, and look at me. I don't even care. I'm still going.
and I mean, at the beginning, what did you just do?
I was like, it looks so little. Like we look so little. So like, what does this do to make us look bigger? And I'm like, oh, that's too big, or it zoomed us in or something. So
Okay, so anyway, I guess it was a big thing because what is happening over there? He came into office talking about how sick Biden was and all this extra stuff and making it seem like he was like a model of great health. You know what I'm saying? So people probably just pointed out like you can't be because look at how swollen your ankles is. But it's common. I
that shit
mean,
worse than Wendy Williams. I'm just, I'm just
it's
saying.
a common thing. Jesus, y'all.
Um, so the Murdoch family. Trump is going to war against the Murdoch family. The Murdoch family owns Fox News and the Wall Street Journal. You know them as the same network that faked the crowd sounds at his birthday celebration. On Truth Social, he said he was excited to have Rupert Murdoch testify at an upcoming trial when he sues the Wall Street Journal over the release of the Epstein article that showed Donald Trump wrote a 50th birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein. If Donald Trump sues Rupert Murdoch and goes to trial on the case, it is going to have to go through discovery, which means that he's going to have to give up documents, which he never wants to do. He never wants to give his documents. We're still waiting on them tax documents, by the way. He had to give up documents, and Trump will also have to testify under oath over whether or not he wrote these letters, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. This could open him up to a bunch of legal troubles. And I bet there's a lot of people wanting him to get on the stand and testify. But the thing is, I feel like if Trump ever get on stand and testify, first of all, he gonna say he was doing this as an official presidential act and he should have immunities for anything that he says on the what they call the thingy when they go sit
On
on
the
the
stand?
on the stand when he goes on the stand. Yeah, on top of that, I feel like he's just gonna lie anyways. Even though he's under oath, he's gonna lie anyway. So I don't even know what should we even care if this do go to trial and if he do go on stand and testify. We already know he's not gonna be whatever documents he have to provide. He's not gonna provide those documents, and we know that he's gonna basically defy every court order that there is that the judge tries to do because I'm the president of the United States. Or where he go try to say I got presidential immunity. So I don't see anything coming out of this trial. Just another gimme for him to get some money out of journalism. Like I said, like the free press is dead thanks to Donald Trump.
Yeah, so I just kind of feel like I don't understand this fallout with him and the Murdoch family, just like I didn't understand the fallout between him and Elon Musk. Like, it's really weird,
Hmm.
you know?
So
So,
I think the fallout between him and Elon Musk and them is like it's almost like, well, you're in the office now, and then you're not doing everything that you promised that you're going to do for us. The only thing you gave us a tax cuts, but we asked for more, but you ain't gave us more. So we're going to put your business out there, or we're going to come after your policies. Just like um, Biden, that's us saying. Like I don't understand why Elon Musk was so against Biden when Biden had passed so many laws or put so many things into effect that will, like, for one, where they was trying to like ban gas power cars in certain states where you have to buy EV cars, the tax breaks and the tax credits that he was giving people. I remember at one time during Biden's presidency, he was giving people a was it $10,000 to $20,000 credit for buying an electric vehicle. So then when the election came around, then he did all this bashing and Biden and all these other kind of things. And then Trump gets into office and takes away all those incentives for people buying electric cars and strips the laws that was put in place where you can no longer buy gas powered vehicles in such states and all this other kind of things. And then it's like now you hurting my business. Now I want to attack you. And I feel like that's just what's happening right now. Even though he tried to get everybody to buy Teslas and it didn't work.
I mean, let's get real. Do you really feel like most Trump supporters want electric vehicles?
They
I feel
don't.
like that was more of a Democratic thing.
Yeah, I feel like they are because I feel like people who live in like the middle of the rural areas that voted for Trump would never they don't have a need for an electric vehicle because first of all, where are they going to charge it at? And they live out in the middle of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just don't really
People
seem.
who has that kind of income and live in those areas, they don't have a high income. So it's not like they can buy the electric car and can afford the extra what $5,000 or $10,000 to have the power station at their house like some of the people who have money does. A lot of people who own electric cars don't have a charger station at home at their house to charge these places, so they have to go to like gas stations that offer electric charging. And to be out in the inner city where we live at, I haven't seen a lot of charging stations at none of the gas stations in the inner city. Not even when I go out to Tulsa, like some of the Tulsa gas stations in the suburban area, they don't even have electric charging or electric vehicles. Mostly, it's either you see them on the east side, or I seen them when I'm out in like Pleasant Prairie in those areas. But far
I
as
see. I see them at the mall.
right, you see them at the mall, right? But you won't see them like in the inner city. Like I could just go down the street to the gas station and charge the car. Like
No, you can't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, it's just not practical enough right now. For some people, it is, but for a lot of people, it's not. Just because you just don't get the same type of mileage. on a
Right.
charge or a full tank or whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, I just kind of feel like it's crazy that he's attacking all of the wealthy people and or families right now.
Yeah. It's a ploy. It's just a ploy to get more money. To be honest, they say I have a freaking Nissan Rogue and I filled up my tank week ago, a week and a half ago. I can drive nearly 2.5 weeks, going on 3 weeks on one tank of gas. I'm just saying.
Yeah, if I'm just going to work, like during the summer, like when I don't really have to do too much with my children, as far as like taking them to things, um, one $40 will last me like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't feel the need to have an electric car. But he's also beefing with somebody else.
Of
And that
course.
somebody else is Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, wait. Before I get into that, uh, before we went live on the air 10 minutes ago, well, about 10 minutes before we went live on the air, Aaron Parnas, I've been saying his name wrong in the previous video. I said Parnas. Aaron Parnas had put out a video saying that Trump was on True Social posting pictures of Obama in an orange jumpsuit because those of you who don't know, he's trying to have, I forgot what they call it, somebody prosecute Obama for something that happened during Obama's presidency or something like that. So he's trying to prosecute it. I'll talk more about that on the next episode. But yeah, that's just the stuff that he got going on. Like, how do you have time to Photoshop pictures when you should be running the country? Is what I want to know.
He
Like, what
probably paying
he
somebody.
had time to sit there and Photoshop pictures? Like,
He paying somebody to do that. He ain't doing that himself. He paying somebody to do that. Yeah, that's what I think. He got some type of social media manager or something like that.
who has the time for that? But him and Rosie O'Donnell. So Donald Trump wants to revoke the citizenship of Rosie O'Donnell. Here's what Trump said in a quote via True Social. Because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country, I'm giving serious consideration to making and to taking away her citizenship. She is a threat to humanity, I believe he is. And should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland. If that's what she wants, God bless America. End quote.
Hmm.
The only person, like I said, the only person who's a threat to humanity is Donald Trump himself. The president does not have the power to revoke citizenship, in case y'all didn't know that, just because he doesn't like her. The fact that he said that this should be sounding the alarms, the fact that he said this should be sounding alarms of the American people, saying basically, if you don't agree with me, I'm going to take away your citizenship and then I'm going to deport you out of the United States.
Hmm.
Rosie O'Donnell left the United States in January due to political reasons for what it was the presidential election. She expressed that she believes that it was a decision for the safety and the sanity of herself and her non-binary child. O'Donnell has also mentioned that she will consider returning to the United States when it is safe for all citizens to have equal rights. Um, First of all, I didn't know Rosie O'Donnell had a child. I'm just gonna be honest. Until the article, I didn't know that she had a child, and I wonder how old is this child, and how does this child know to identify as non-binary? Somebody,
Uh,
anybody,
I think her child got to be like teenager at
uh,
least. At least, but I mean, she's been a long time. Like she always like talks about her disgust of Donald Trump. And it's
right,
not anything new.
for decades.
So it's like, why now would you just want to put something out there? Like, you know what I'm saying?
don't
Like,
think I don't
okay.
think she's been talking about him very pretty much her whole career. I feel like she's been very vocal about Donald Trump. And like she said, like I didn't even know that she moved to Ireland in January until this whole thing came out where he started feuding with her again. Like I didn't know anything about that. Like she moved so peacefully and quiet. I didn't know.
She
Well,
announced that she was moving and then she did it and then she been quiet.
yeah, and the rest said that's what I'm saying. Like she left and went to Ireland, mind her own business. And once again, this probably stemmed from Trump being up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with his random ass tweets, like when he started tweeting about Taylor Swift. It just the man needs medication. Please get him some medication. That's all I'm saying.
The shenanigans never end.
Right. Speaking of, his supporters is turning on him also.
Of course.
So
Duh.
mega supporters.
We knew that was going to happen. What?
I know I didn't want to been turning over him over the tariff taxes. I was on the phone with Tina earlier. I was at Walmart earlier, and I went to the hood Walmart for the first time in decades, darling. But God, I was like, I walked in there, and I'm like, this just looks poor. Like, like the store looked
What's wrong with
poor.
you? This looks poor.
A lot of the patrons look poor.
Oh my
I don't
god.
know the last time the floor was clean.
Oh my god.
I just felt so uncomfortable.
Oh my
But
god.
so MAGA supporters turn on Donald Trump because he refuses to release the Epstein files. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested and charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of minors in 2009. Many are saying that Trump doesn't want the files released because he's in the files. There was a vote. The House had a vote to release the Epstein files, and all the Republicans voted to not release the files. Some of his supporters are saying that Trump should be fired for not releasing them. Some are saying that it is wrong and he is losing supporters behind this.
So yeah, I believe that Trump doesn't want the files to get out because he in there, but I also believe that it's a lot of people with a lot of power that's probably in the file. So it's not just him not wanting them to be released. It's a lot of people.
This is proof that how he likes little girls because remember that he had the video. The little girls told her, I think that little girl's probably wasn't even a teenager yet. He said in 10 years he would screw her if she was 10 years older or something like that. It was
Yeah.
something that he had said. So yeah, so is this meaning? I mean, in my head, I'm thinking it's like they say he in the Epstein files, and Epstein was basically was on trial, was supposed to go to trial. Was he found guilty? I think he died before they actually had the trial. Did they? I think they had the trial after he
He
passed away.
supposedly died by suicide in jail.
Okay, yeah, right. Supposedly, allegedly. So I'm like I don't know if they found him guilty after like they still went on with the trial even though he was had passed away, and I
Yeah, I
think they
can't
still went
remember.
on with the trial, and I think he was found guilty of the sex trafficking and stuff like that. And then my whole thing is no, if he was found guilty of sex trafficking minors, does this mean that Trump was at one of these Epstein parties or was linked up with Epstein and was sleeping with minors himself? Is that why he don't really want to release these files?
And probably a lot of other people.
Hmm. I'm just saying. So
You know.
Trump surprised. Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, I think we talked about it on the last episode with the video and the missing 3 minutes.
I
Or
think
no,
so.
we didn't.
Did we talk about it?
Anyway, quick recap. So basically, the video of supposedly the night that Epstein died was released, and supposedly the Department of Justice or whoever said it was only 1 minute missing from the tape, and then when the warden was questioning something about it's always a minute missing every night because that's when the system resets itself or something like that, which sound like BS to me because you need to have a count of all minutes of all days, like not. And then if somebody knew that the system always resets at that time every night, that just gives them the opportunity to do something, right? So it sounds fishy, but some other like computer forensic expert got their hands on the tape, and then now they're saying it's not 1 minute that's missing, it's 3 minutes that's missing, and that the video was stitched together with Adobe.
I just can't. I just can't.
Yeah. So I was tripping over that. I'm like, man, what you mean that your security system at a jail resets every night at the same time? What?
Like something ain't adding up here. I'm just something ain't adding up. Something seems very fishy here.
Yes, it does. So allegedly, he committed suicide.
Right.
Hmm. Well,
So,
what Trump surprised about?
Donald Trump surprised himself. Trump says he was surprised that Jerome Powell was appointed when Trump was the one who appointed him back in his first term in 2017. Jerome is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. This is rising. This is raising questions about Trump's mental state. Jerome's term ends in 2026, and the president cannot legally fire the Federal Reserve chairman, which is an independent entity of the executive branch. I wrote that so horribly wrong on there, but
Not
yeah,
even.
so he doesn't even remember people he hired. He was like, he don't know. I think he was saying he don't know how Jerome. He at first he was saying that Biden or Obama appointed Jerome to this position, and he feel like Jerome is doing a horrible job, I guess, at what he's doing. I don't know what the Federal Reserve Chairman does. I think he just go borrow money from other countries. I don't know. But the fact that he was making all these comments about this man's performance and the person that hired him when he was the one who hired him and put him in that position. Like, what are we doing here? And nobody still wants to say he's not fit to be president. Like, come on, man.
He wasn't fit to be president back then. What you mean? When he was younger. What are we talking about?
That
And it
is
ain't got nothing to do with his inability to remember things now. It's a lot of other stuff.
true. Allegedly. Uh,
Allegedly.
the Supreme Court gave Trump the okay to dismantle the Department of Education. There is a case working its way through the lower courts to determine whether it's legal. The Supreme Court gave Trump the go ahead until it reaches to, I guess that the case that's going to the lower court reaches them. Dismantling the Department of Education could severely impact public schools by eliminating federal funding for crucial programs, disrupting civil rights enforcement, and potentially leading to a decline in educational standards. The federal funds support various programs like Title One for disadvantaged students and IDEA for students with disabilities, and losing these resources could widen the achievement gap and negatively affect vulnerable students.
Student loans is like a cesspool of evil.
The fact that you pay on a student loan for 20 or 40 some years and still never pay it off is quite ridiculous. And then on top of that, like by the time they get to adding on interest to your student loans, they'd be like, "Did I ever make a payment for the last 10 years or what?" Oh, Torian's going through it.
Y'all,
But
he getting my business so hard. My baby is not bothering nobody.
uh, so yeah, I don't agree with the department, them dismantling the Department of Education. I believe is something that we really need to have. The fact, like I said, the more to protect, the most vulnerable students. I believe one thing. I talked to Tina about this like 2 weeks ago, that we should get rid of standardized testing. I remember I had to do this test from first grade up to eighth grade every single year, and at the time I didn't know anything about my attention span. So I told Tina, after a while, you would do this test over a period of like 2, 3 days. You would be doing these tests. And after a certain amount of time, like, I'm getting bored. I don't care about what my test score is. This really don't reflect my actual grade that I want to get on my report card. So I just got to bubbling in anything. They be like, "Oh, do you gotta make sure we do good? This is for funding for the schools." Like, well, they should have made the test 3 days long. So I'm just gonna bubble in anything. So, and hopefully they don't do that little standardized test thing anymore. But because people like me, like I said, bubbling in anything, they still do it. Oh my god, that's the most horrible thing ever. Like I said, I just bubbled in anything. My attention span wouldn't let me sit there and focus that long. I'm sorry. And then this will be like the whole entire school day and last about 3 days. Like I said, about 2, 3 days of doing this. Like it's horrible. That's needs to be taken away. I'm serious.
They don't do it every year now. They do it like every couple of years, every 2 to 3 years. I think they have to have a standardized test or something like that.
You have to
At
do it
least in
every year.
like
And what the taught
before high school. Huh?
is we have to do it every year, and then you're basically what you was taught throughout the whole year is based on that test. So for me going through the school system at my age, it's like we wasn't being prepared for life after we graduate high school or life after middle school. It was basically is no, we only preparing y'all to get a good grade on this test so we can get more funding. And that's literally what the whole school year was like. No, we got to teach based on the standardized testing that you're gonna have to take towards the end of the year. And then, like I said, like so instead of like I feel like kids now, depending on what school they go to, they have more focusing on skills that kids will be able to obtain or be able to use after they graduate high school compared to when I was in high school. It's basically like, no, we're just gonna teach y'all basically to pass this test and that's it. We ain't gonna teach y'all about life skills. Like I keep telling everybody, like, I didn't even have sex education in high school. I never even took a sex education class.
I don't think.
I didn't
I
take
think the last time I
that
took sex ed, I was in like 5th grade. So
like
that was
it
a
was
while ago. I didn't have it in middle school. I didn't have it in high school.
when I said we didn't have home ec, we didn't have shop, we
I
didn't
had
have
home ec, I had shop, I had swim.
didn't have that either.
We
That's why
had
I swim to this day.
instruments
Right.
and all of that.
I have
Drama
last time I had
club.
music class was the fifth, nope, 4th grade was the last time I had music.
Yeah, we had all of that. Choirs, all of that.
Uh, I
Drama
think
club.
they had it when they have drama club. They offer choir, I think 1 year. So the school that I went to, most schools they have 2 semesters within a year. My school we had 3 semesters within a year. We had what we call like an interim semester. So basically,
Mhm.
classes that wasn't offered during the regular school year, those same teachers would teach like a different class
Mhm.
during that interim semester. So you'll have classes like anatomy, or you will have like a drumline class, or you will have
Mhm.
like these elective type classes.
Mhm.
Um, and then you take those during the interim year, the interim semester, which lasted about a month and a half, and then you
Mhm.
go into the last semester of the school year. And that's the only time we were offered them classes. So then I think after my sophomore year, they got rid of it, and then we just went to the 2 semesters. So basically, going forward, all they offered was math, English, science, and gym and history. That's it. They're not teaching you. They didn't have no art class. They're not teaching you anything else. You get math, science, English, history, gym. That's it. And that's all you're gonna get till you graduate high school going forward.
That sounds boring.
It was boring as fuck.
That sounds boring.
Let's talk about these Texas floodings. The flood in Texas. So back in 2021, Biden gave Carr County 10.2 million dollars. The community wanted to reject the 10.2 million. I have a video for you right here, so I'm going to play that video for you.
We do not want more of Biden's mandates attached to keeping Biden's money.
But these people are communists. They hate America. They're teaching it in our schools. They're invading the border as we speak. I don't think we should take any money from the federal government because they can't be trusted.
Now, we don't need these funds here. We've done just fine. And we'll get by without them. But you spend this money, you're signing a contract with the devil, and the devil's in the White House.
If you vote to keep Biden's money, I will hold you personally responsible and personally liable.
The Biden regime has proven to be tyrannical and anti-American. There is no part of this administration that has the good of America or Americans at heart. We want no part in anything coming down from the federal government. This is Texas, and Texans can take care of Texas.
And I don't believe we should take the money. We should not have it. I don't trust our federal government. I don't think that they're truthful with us. And in these days and these times or whatever, we can't afford to make a mistake like this.
Now I'm curious as to what went along with the $10.2 million. What was they supposed to be doing?
More than likely, it was progressive program that basically, to move the country in a progressive way. Carr County is a very conservative area that believe in a lot of those things. And the fact that a lot of them in that video said that they cannot trust the federal government, but the fact that everyone has trust. All of them basically have had the nerve to say they don't trust the federal government, but they trust Trump's administration. The And the fact that Trump administration, when this whole flood thing happened, it took them 72 hours to respond to the floods, and that FEMA said they couldn't move in without the federal government saying, "Hey, yeah, go in and help those people." The
Mhm.
Mexican president sent people across the border to actually help these people. It was right after the flood happened, and then after the flood happened, somebody they actually tried to detain these workers who were saving people in the floods from the floods. They were trying to detain them, and do the ICE. Well, ICE tried to detain them.
Mm-mm.
To be honest, I would trust the Mexican government more than I trust our own government at this point. The fact that the Mexican government stepped in and helped the country who has basically put now has a 30% terror tax on them, and on top of that has been talked bad about them. You're deporting our hardworking people from our country back to our country who majority of these people y'all arresting are not even criminals. So or even committed violent crimes that y'all say that you're only gonna I said commit deport people who are committed violent crimes. Like I don't understand it. And then, like I said, then you still want to talk bad about these people when you didn't want to step in and help your own people that another country had to step in and do. And then this is one of the things, like how Americas get involved in countries where there's like dictators going on, and we helping them get rid of their dictator, overthrow their government. I said, now what would happen if some other country decides like, hey, America need help, like they're under the threat of a dictator, and what if they move in and be like, yeah, we're gonna put a stop to this? Then what?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now, make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the detention center in Florida. So the detention facility where migrants are being held has flooded. This is like a week and a half ago. The conditions are horrible. There are 32 people per cage. You can't call it a cell because it's far from that. There are 32 people per cage. I didn't know they have 3 toilets for 32 grown men where they have to drink water from the toilet. There is literally a spigot that comes from the toilet, and that's where they get their water from. It is very hot and warm where the cages are being held. They did not let a congressman. There was a congressman who tried to. I don't know about the congresswoman, but there's a congressman who tried to actually go into the area where these people are being held, and I stopped them from going back there. The congressman did hear somebody saying that they were that was being detained there, that they are a American citizen, that he said that he was going to also look into, and they were I forgot they was chanting the phrase also, but they was basically chanting like freedom, these migrants that was locked in there. And the fact that people are so mad about the millions of dollars the billions that we're spending on Medicare and Medicaid, how we have all these people who are just living off the system and all these other kind of things and like that, and it like how our government money is being misused and all this other kind of things. But yet we have this detention center that was built in like what 2-3 days, was funded by government spending, and now
Mm-hmm.
we're basically housing these people. We're feeding them. We're providing them with a place, well, a dungeon to live in. On top of that, which is all coming out of taxpayer dollars, while our workforce continues to suffer on farms with farms and construction. And then on top of all these millions that he's spending to keep this alligator Alcatraz opening, he's so obsessed with Alcatraz that now he's about to spend $2 billion to reopen it. He's trying to use $2 billion of taxpayer dollars to get Alcatraz back up to code and to reopen it. I don't get what his this whole thing is with Alcatraz. I don't get it. And then this leads me into deportation. So 82-year-old man disappeared without a trace into the American immigration system. The last time anyone had seen the man was June 20th. Louis Leon went to the Philadelphia immigration to replace his green card that he had lost when he had lost his wallet. The man was detained and his family was told that he had passed away. In reality, he was deported to Guatemala. He was granted political asylum in 1987 after surviving torture at a dictator's hand.
82.
82. Oh, right, 82 years old. So this man been here since 1987, here legally, has a green card. I went to go get my green card replaced because I lost it, and y'all know that I'm here legally, and yet you still deported me back to a country that I was seeking asylum from a dictator.
And then
Like,
told my family that I died.
right? Like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
An
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta journalist is fighting deportation from an ICE facility. Even though all charges against him have been dropped, Mario Guevara, I hope I pronounced his name right, is a Salvadorian. He is in the South Georgia detention center. He was arrested when he was covering the No King Day protest. He is one of the most influential Salvadorian journalists in the world, and millions of people watches his stuff. He is the only journalist in America sleeping in a cell right now just for doing his job. And according to sources, he is one of the persons that people will call when there's ice raid happening. And he'll go cover the ice raid. And I just, like I said, it's just disgusting. I'm disgusted with ICE. I hope they know that these things they're doing with covering their faces, wearing these masks. Y'all are, y'all are deporting people. You're detaining people. You're raiding
Censoring.
you're
Yeah.
entering people's houses. You're entering businesses without even having legal warrants for any of these people that you're trying to detain and arrest and deport. I just want all you ICE agents to know who are doing this and going through this. You will face your justice when Trump is out of office, and you will do jail time because you know what you're doing is illegal. And just to let you know, the next president isn't going to save you. You will serve jail time for this.
Period. You done with your rant?
Yes, I am done.
All right. Now let's get into some national and local news. Switch
Jersey.
gears here. I have a
Yeah.
quick Diddy update. So it seems like Diddy has enrolled himself into a drug and violence prevention
He lying.
program ahead of his sentencing, right? So the sources state that Diddy is currently enrolled in a federal course called STOP that addresses preventing sexual abuse, domestic abuse, and dating abuse. He is also allegedly in therapy and participating in a drug abuse program with a Dr. Harry K. Wexler. Now, don't ask me how these sources got this information. I feel like, HIPAA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, unless his team put that information out there with his okay to do so.
I
Now,
am not going to believe these lies. I'm just going to say it right. I ain't going to believe it. He's
so
just doing
he's
all this to make himself look good to just try to get out of jail early, so that way he don't get no jail sentence, or just let me serve a year jail, or let me just get time served that already been in here. Hell no, hell no. This just made me mad. No,
So that's what he's doing right now. His sentencing is still scheduled for October 3rd. Okay.
lock his ass up.
Also, lead prosecutor in his case, Maureen Comey, was recently just fired from her position at the DA's office for the Southern District of New York. She also prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell in connection with that Jeffrey Epstein case and was also part of the case against Epstein. So we got all this stuff going on with the Epstein files right now. Then we had Diddy, I'm pretty sure he will allegedly probably be in rooms rubbing elbows with people.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I believe her father was James Comey, right? And he was fired by Trump, right? Am I correct? I
I
think
am
he was fired by Trump. I think wasn't he used to be the director of was it the FBI?
I don't know. He don't fire so many people. I just can't keep up with everybody.
Yeah, I think he either he quit or he got fired, but I think he was the director of the FBI at one point or something like that, or the CIA, one of them federal offices. But yeah, so now she's been relieved of duties. So I'm wondering if some more information will develop in this case. We'll keep you updated.
Wait,
So
what did you say? Who obtained this information about Diddy?
I believe it was TMZ.
So because you said because the prosecutor that you said was fired. You said this is in New York, right?
Yes,
And ain't Luigi Mangilo? I don't know I remember how you pronounce his last name. He's been tried in New York, right?
I believe so.
Hmm. So I wonder because I forgot to put it in the show due to time, but on the next episode I was gonna cover it. But I wonder if she was a prosecutor that's working his case that obtained a lot of his health records illegally without a warrant, also that they tried to use in his court case.
Hmm.
That
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll
right
find
now
out.
thrown out.
They have moved forward with his. I think it's like Luigi Maggioni or something like that.
Mhm.
It hasn't been any new developments really in his case, so that's another case that I'm waiting to keep you guys updated with. So let's keep moving on with some sad local news. So on the night of July 11th to the 12th, so that was last Saturday night, Sunday morning, a quintuplets shooting occurred in downtown Milwaukee outside of a popular nightclub called Element. This was previously also known as Club 618, in case anybody is trying to figure out where it's at. So 52-year-old Antwan Tweezy Hogans died on scene, and 39-year-old Kevin Bubs Lewis died in the hospital. 3 others were wounded. The community is really reeling from this senseless act of violence and mourning the death of Hogans, who's also affectionately known as the mayor of Milwaukee. So he was a known rapper, business owner, promoter, father, and a community advocate. um, on the 12th, which was last Sunday, a lot of people gathered outside of one of his businesses. It's a hookah place, and started basically um, leaving behind little tributes and memorials. The news was out there. They got a lot of interviews with people who had a lot of good things to say about Tweezy. He left behind 3 children. And I know one of his oldest son is a private pilot, which is pretty dope accomplishment for that young man. I believe he like 19 or 20 or something like that, right? Now his celebration of life has not been announced at this time, but there are rumors that the community is pushing for a large venue for his homegoing celebration. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going on. There are also rumors that his homegoing celebration will be sometime in early August. Okay. Now, on this past Monday, a 24-year-old man who was arrested as a suspect with the shooting. It is unclear at this time what role he played in the shooting. So I have no more information about that, but there was a video that was leaked online that looks like it was video surveillance from a business. I don't know which one, but it showed a large group of individuals outside the main entrance to Element.
It's next to it or the actual business where the shooting happening at, and I think
Right.
I feel like it's one of the security guards who work at that business who released who put it out there.
The tape.
Yeah.
So you can see a lot of people congregating outside the front of the building. It wasn't like a line or anything like that. It was just a bunch of people that looked as though they had been in the building and stepped out for a second, right?
Mhm.
In that video, You can see Hogan's. He had on a white T-shirt. And they were talking. Then a few individuals began kind of like looking over their shoulder, and then the crowd kind of slowly started to dissipate. And then Hogan's turned from the street and was heading what looks like back into the building when somebody sprayed basically a crowd, right? Um, and like I said, 5 people were shot. 2 people lost their lives, and they arrested this 4-year-old, right? So now the rumor in the streets is that Hogan's was not the intended target, but he was just an innocent bystander. So I'm also interested to see as this unfolds who the target was, etc., etc. So it was basically like a drive-by shooting, right? So we'll keep you updated with any developments in this case, and prayers to all the victims and their families.
It's just
Now, also local news.
618 back in the day was known for having these kind of issues. Is why they was shut down in the first place. Where they was known for having like.
Well, so 618 was for a younger crowd, right? So I was young when 618 was popping. So when I heard it was under new ownership and it was reopening this element, I was kind of excited, right? So I actually had a birthday party at that establishment when it first opened. So it's in downtown. It's nice. It's 2 stories, very spacious, very aesthetically pleasing, right? And when it first opened, they would do kind of a combination of like reggaeton. They would do some rap here and there later in the evening, but it was like a different types of songs, right? You're downtown.
Right.
So it was a mixed crowd in there when I first went down there. So now I haven't been down there since. No, I went down there a second time for somebody else's birthday, and it was still pretty much the same, environment. But I haven't been down there since then. I think I went to 618 one time, and it was, like I said, a bunch of young people in there. So I really don't know what the crowd looks like down there. Also, I believe rapper Steve the Stoner was down there that night when it happened, but he was unarmed.
Okay.
Okay. So also something that happened on last Friday. So an Amber Alert was issued for 7-year-old Jamal White last Friday. White was taken outside of his father's family home on 61st and Eustis by unknown assailants at the time, right? There was a video that was released, this like maybe a ring video or something like from across the street. Okay, showing that it was a white Jeep that slowed, and then 2 people jumped out. One chased, who was Jamal White. So Jamal White is a junior, the 7-year-old. So his father's name is Jamal White. So Jamal White Sr. is seen fleeing into the house, and then his son, Jamal White Jr., kind of went, it looked like around the side of the house, like he was heading towards the back. But then it showed that somebody had grabbed him and walked back towards the Jeep, and then the Jeep drove away. Okay. So the Amber Alert was issued, and I believe he was found the next day, right?
Yep. He was found,
Okay.
the next day.
So he was found the next day. He was found in a duplex, the upper unit of a duplex on 39th and Lloyd. When authorities were searching the home, they found 25-year-old Corey Williams hiding in the attic. Okay, now when they arrested him, the only thing he had on him was a methamphetamine pill, like one pill, but I don't know if they saying it was X or what have you. I don't know. So he was taken into custody and has been charged with kidnapping, taking hostages, and contributing to the death of a child, which are all party to a crime charges that he's getting, but they're all felonies. So a 14-year-old boy and a 38-year-old man have also been arrested in connections to this. story. Now, while in custody, Williams got to talking to authorities, right? I mean, whatever, his confession, I guess. Um, Now, he said that him and his accomplices or whatever, the other people that were involved, the original plan was to rob Jamal White Jr.'s mother. Okay. And they had been kind of like staking out her house, but she wasn't there. So then they decided to rob boy's father, which is how they ended up over there, where the little boy was outside riding his bike, right? So when they pulled up, the two individuals hopped out, and it wasn't part of the plan that the little boy got grabbed, right? So I guess after they grabbed the little boy, they put him in a car and sped off. Williams said they were having an argument about basically, why did you grab the little boy? So then he said originally his cut of the robbery was supposed to be $10,000, but then, he was like, well, since we grabbed the little boy, I need a bigger cut type of thing. So he eventually contacted Jamal White's mother and demanded $100,000 in jewelry, and she agreed. And then they set up the meeting place is supposed to be like in one of the local parks. So after that happened, right? Because now she know who you are, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, she gonna go to the authorities. What you mean? So the Amber Alert was released then at that point. And then basically the little boy ended up being found the next day. Okay. Thankfully. So Williams told authorities that the reason why White's mother was targeted is because she was known to flaunt her money, and he had been on FaceTime with her before, and there were he's seen her with like bricks of drugs, right? So that tells you that he knows, right? Said individual, you on FaceTimes, with this little boy's mother. So, and it's kind of crazy because the Jeep was actually Williams' girlfriend's Jeep. Like, you took my Jeep and did what? You took my car and did what?
You can't even commit a crime, right? Like, what is wrong with people? I'm happy they found a little boy though, because I'd be clueless to stuff that be going around in the city. I'd be like, what? Who? Amber Alert for what? Why is that on the highway sign? What's going on?
Yeah,
And
it's been going down in Milwaukee.
finally got home and found out about the story or whatever. I was just like, this shit is crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, right? So
from that, what they call stuff, like True TV, Court TV kind of stuff. That's what this was.
So now the Jamel White's mother has been identified as 25-year-old Siobhan Williams. And when I first heard that last name and I was looking at him, I was like, okay, the guy they got arrested and the guy and his mother, they're both light skinned. They both last name Williams. And it says in the complaint that Williams had seen her on FaceTime before with bricks of drugs, quote unquote, allegedly. Right. So I'm like, no connection between the mother and the suspect, have been stated or whatever. But she was taken into custody after her son was found safe, because I believe she's on papers and police contact. So she has a PO.
Wasn't she refusing to give him any information when a boy had first disappeared? Like, was that her that was refusing to give up information? Or did they, or was it the dad? Oh no, I'm thinking about a whole separate thing where one of the kids got killed. Yeah, never mind. I'm thinking about a separate situation where I think it was a gun in the house, and I think one of the stepdad killed the mother's kid, and the mom was refusing to give up information. Yeah, different story.
Okay, so social media was outraged because in that Ring camera footage, you could see Jamal White Sr. Running into the house while his son is just running around outside by himself, right? So he's catching a lot of backlash on Facebook for that. And he stated that he thought they were coming to rob him, right? And he wasn't thinking that they were going to take his son. So whatever. Now, Jamal White Sr. has a twin brother named Jamil, and Jamil was arrested the day after the his nephew was kidnapped because he was shooting at a slow moving car over there by where his nephew had gotten abducted. And the slow moving car contained a father and a son that was just helping with the search for his nephew. Okay. So he is currently being charged with 2 counts of recklessly endangering safety and use of a dangerous weapon. His bond is set at $20,000 cash, and Corey Williams' bond is set at $100,000. Okay. So I'll keep you updated with any developments from that. Now, we ain't done with Milwaukee. Milwaukee was cutting up this past week. Dr. Child pornography allegations. So a doctor
Pussy out here you can buy to be looking at child porn. I just
So Dr. Calvin Erickson, 46 years old, was arrested on July 15th, which was my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Due to allegations of child pornography. So Homeland Security received a cyber tip of potential child pornography. It was able to track the surgeon. Yes, he's a surgeon. He's actually a transplant surgeon for children. So they tracked him through a social messaging app called Kick. So then, after 2 years of monitoring him, federal agents finally came to his home in Brookfield and arrested him. Okay. Now he has been charged with distribution and possession of child pornography. Federal agents found more than 350 pictures and more than 60 videos that have been distributed underneath his handle on Kick. He allegedly also inquired about having sex with a federal agent who was posing as a mother with an 8-year-old daughter. So he put out there that he wanted to have sex with the both of them. And he, like I said, is a transplant surgeon here at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin that is attached to Frederick Hospital. And he is also an assistant professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin. As of right now, he has been placed on leave from both of those positions, and he has not been formally terminated.
it is too many prostitutes that you can go out here and buy. Be trying to have sex for little
It's just creepy because you're a transplant surgeon for children. I mean, it's creepy. Anyway, that makes it even creepier.
When they was under the anesthesia stuff, whatever it's called. Whenever they was under that stuff, was you touching these kids inappropriately? Like, why? And
Well, I hope not, but to be honest, and if you're doing transplant surgery, the room is going to be full of people.
Oh yeah, that's right. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, the room is going to be. He's never going to be left alone with that patient unless he's doing rounding, which in Freighter or Children's, I don't see him ever doing rounding by himself because it's a teaching hospital. So I would think he would have residents with him. I would hope so. Okay.
What do you get out of looking at kids? I like grown.
I don't know. It's just people are just sick. People are just sick.
Like me.
Okay, moving on. So I got an update in the murder of Officer Kendall Corder. Okay, who we previously reported on was shot on June 25th. Him and his partner, Officer McCrae, I believe. Yes, he ended up succumbing to his injuries. And Officer McCrae is still out on leave from his injuries, okay? So an individual by the name of Tremaine Jones was arrested, and he has entered a not guilty plea to the charges of first-degree intentional homicide, attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and first-degree recklessly endangering safety, okay? So allegedly, reports are that the suspect in a Brayshawn Tyler had been in a shootout, and that is what prompted citizens to call for the police. And when the police came to the scene, They were shot and killed allegedly by Tremaine Jones. So Jones is scheduled back in court on August 6th for a scheduling conference. And I will keep you guys updated with that. And I have no idea. So there was also a video of the alleged suspect in it. I believe we did play this last, well, not last, maybe the one before that episode of him carrying a very large assault rifle, walking in the middle of the street with said assault rifle. It wasn't another person in the video. It seemed like he was saying words, but I don't know if he was actually speaking to anybody. And so this is allegedly this suspect that was arrested. Like, and you put in a not guilty plea?
Dumb criminals. You might as well be like, yeah, it was me. Like, I did it. I my bad. This one is on me, and the words are true. I just can't wait.
So somebody shot 2 police officers and killed one of them.
Right. And sir, you on a video holding the same exact gun, probably when they did the ballistic test came from that weapon. So you're guilty.
And I haven't seen any reports of this other person, this Brayshawn Tyler, being arrested, for them to put that name into the source that I got it from. So I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper on that too. And keep you guys updated.
All right. Well, I guess with that being said, we can head into final thoughts. Donald Trump is mentally unstable and needs to be put somewhere. He needs to be on vacation or not on a permanent vacation. There was a TikTok video saying he passed and everything itself passed on. I don't think I should say that other part. But either way it go, he's unhinged. He's mentally unstable. He talked about Joe Biden's health, like Tina said earlier, and his health isn't in the best condition. He talked about how Joe Biden was falling up and down stairs, and he fell going up the stairs. So I'm just make it make sense. Then you got these people that's still supporting this man who won't send them help. He don't believe in global warming because I just looked at the weather again for this week, and we're gonna have 2 more days of 90 degrees and hotter. It ain't been like this. It has not been this hot in Wisconsin since God knows when. I don't remember us having more than 10 days of it being 90 degrees in our summers. Like, I just don't remember that.
And that's usually during Stay Fair.
Exactly. And that's my final thought. Trump is unstable. He don't believe in global warming, and we all need to stop supporting him and stop believing his bullshit.
Okay, well, my final thought is Milwaukee, we really need to slow down. It's been so much gun violence going on in our city, so many people losing their lives, so many people caught in the crossfire, so many children. Like, it's what's going on with our city. Milwaukee I used to be able to walk up and down the street as a child without a cell phone or anything else, and just going to the park and playing until it's dark and come back home. Get on a bus and go places without, not feeling safe. It's gotten really ridiculous here. And our city is beautiful, and it is teeming with a lot of different individuals and cultures and foods and music. And I just want my children to be able to, and my family and my friends to be able to enjoy everything Milwaukee has to offer safely. And that's my final thought.
Yay, final thoughts. So make sure you don't forget y'all to hit that like and subscribe button for us. Make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you hit the like, share if you enjoy watching us. We enjoy doing this for y'all. So thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast. And we're gonna see y'all on the next one.
Bye.